going on, Fire Nation? FlameHorizon here, coming at you with the NPCC Miners Draft Analysis. Yep, I'm back from my trip to Nebraska. I'm actually going back to school today, but I'm getting this recorded. But I gotta record this draft analysis and get this up. You can expect battles for this league in a couple weeks, and this is a DS league. You guys saw that I kind of have Citra working, so I'll be able to start doing DS leagues. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be good fun. But we're going to go over the team that I drafted in turn order this time, not in like tier order, in turn order. Like how I drafted it, exactly what round, and everything. So we'll get right into things. As you can see, the first pick I have right here, I decided to get the powerhouse, because I had turn 2. So might as well just get something turn 2 right off the bat that's really good. And Kieran Black. Now, as Smogon is even saying, Kieran Black is a powerful wall breaker. It's one of the best physical wall breakers in the game. You give this thing a choice band and nothing's really living a choice banded outrage unless it's a fairy type. But then you have like Iron Head. Most people will run like a Life Orb set with Ice Beam or maybe a Choice Scarf set. But this is my Z user, well, one of them at least. This is the one that can use anything. It could use Z Outrage, it could also use Z Hail, it could also use Z Sunny Day if it wanted to, it could use Z Rain Dance, it could use any Z move it wants to that are not Omni boosting, that are not evasion boosting. So, you know, most leagues use that rule. Also, I forgot to even say this, I got my green screen back up because I reorganized my room a bit, and it's nice. Look at it. You can't see it, but I like it. But yeah, getting back on topic. Kieran Black, I just can't wait to use it. I decided to, since I was second pick, I had to pray that my next pick made it back to me. And I'm really, really glad it did, because my next pick was Mega Scizor. And I've never used Mega Scizor in League. But looking at it, it's super bulky. Like super, super duper bulky. I don't know why they gave it 10 points in special attack. They should have put those 10 points in special defense and just called it a day. But like, this thing is super bulky. Priority bullet punch technician with Swords Dance. Like, this thing is going to be tearing through monsters. It's going to be doing so well. Bullet punch checks so many things. This is also one of Kieran Black's checks. So I decided to add it to the team. Kieran Black and Mega Scizor is such a good combination. Hold up. I just burped. I don't know why I always burp when I record. But it does have it has 8 resistances and 1 weakness, being fire. And I just can't wait to use it. Never used it in League, but it's one of my favorite megas, design-wise, and it's one of my favorite megas competitive-wise. So, to finish off my Dragon Steel Fairy Core, I decided to get a fairy this next turn, and since I was second pick, this was coming up, Scizor was, and then there was 2 picks and coming right back down. So it was pretty safe that I would get my next pick, which is Sylveon. Now, I've used Sylveon before, and I just flat out love it, because you don't have to run your average like Hyper Voice Cleric set. You can run Choice Specs Hyper Voice. You can run a physical set with Curse if you wanted to, and I've done that before. Curse, Wish, Quick Attack, and Return. Or no, Curse, Rest with a Chesto Berry, Quick Attack, Return, and just have fun. Because it's a really fun set to use, and though its special attack may be a lot higher, if you ever just have a time where you need to mess with someone, that could be a set you could run. But I did need a Cleric, I did need Wish support with Kyurem, I did need Wish support with some of my other mons later in the draft, so I decided to pick up Sylveon. It's going to work really well. I've used it before, I love Sylveon. Can't wait to see how everything goes. Up next, so between this pick and my next pick, there's about 30-something picks. Maybe, I think it was like 29, 30 picks. So I had to pray my next pick made it to me, which was Milotic, and Milotic did not make it to me. It got sniped right before me. It got sniped right the turn before me. Jolts Volts, if you're watching this, I know your pain about me sniping Vaporeon from you. But to take the void that is Milotic, I decided to get Slowbro, the normal form, not the Mega form, because, you know, it's not bad. It's not a bad Pokemon. Pretty bulky, got decent HP. It's pretty slow, but with Calm Minds, start boosting up that special attack and special defense. Let's click the RU set just because I can. like defensive calm mind, like I was just saying. And then I can also have Thunder Wave and Toxic for coverage if I need it. It can be a good wall, a good physical wall, just to take physical hits and then switch out. But I've used Scizor before, or not Slowbro before. I really like Slowbro. I've used Mega Slowbro before, and I don't recommend it. But normal Slowbro is really good. Yeah, this was like probably my least favorite pick the whole draft. Up next, though, we have one of my favorite fire types in the meta. It's not Infernape, but it's one of my other favorite fire types, and that's Entei. And Entei for me has always just been like one of those Pokemon that I love ever since Pokemon the third movie. Yeah, but since the third Pokemon movie where Entei just kind of like steals Ash's mother and like protected that little girl, I've always kind of liked Entei just a little bit on the inside. But Choice Banded Sacred Fire has minimal switch-ins. And it's just a good time. Because you can not only, like bulky water types, yeah, they can switch in, but they have the risk of getting burned. And some bulky water types do not have Heal Bell, and a lot of bulky water types do not run like Lumberry just for that situation. But Entei is definitely going to be a lot of fun. It gets Bulldoze, it gets, I'm just gonna like look through the moveset real quick. It gets Bulldoze. If I wanted to run a special set, I could. It gets Extreme Speed, which is gonna come in clutch. It gets Frustration if I wanted to do that. It gets Giga Impact. It gets Headbutt. I'm just naming off all the physical moves I can see. Iron Head and Iron Tail if I needed the steel coverage. As I've said, it gets Sacred Fire. It gets Rock Climb if I wanted to do a transfer move. Let's keep looking through. It gets Secret Power, but I don't think I'll ever run that. It gets Stone Edge. It gets Strength. It gets Will-O-Wisp. So I could run a bulky set too, a bulky Will-O-Wisp set. That'd be fun. Like a subset with Will-O-Wisp and Calm. Oh. Okay, that sounds like fun. But yeah, Entei is definitely a good fire type pick. Little to no switch-ins. And then in the draft, I was getting to this point and I realized that I didn't really have much hazard removal. Or really, like, except for Defog on Scizor. And there was a spinner I wanted that got sniped, which was Serena. I kind of wanted Serena. But that got sniped this round, right after this, actually. So it got to me and I needed a spinner, and I only wanted to get a spinner from Tier 4, and I noticed that Hitmontop was just kind of sitting there. And I wonder why, because Hitmontop not only is a really good spinner, but it also gets Mach Punch and Bullet Punch with Technician. It gets Intimidate, because, you know, who doesn't love intimidating physical attackers. It has a really, really good special defense stat at 110, and decent defenses. So not only, like, could I run this set, I could also run, like, a Choice Banded Rapid Spin set with Mach Punch and Bullet Punch, just to come in, take the life, and then get out. It also gets Aerial Ace if I wanted to run that for Buzzwole. I'm not going to run that for Buzzwole. But yeah, I just can't wait to see how this works. It gets Fake Out too, just in case I want to mix them up. If I wanted to run a really slow set, I could run Gyro Ball. But I just can't wait. I can't wait to see how this goes, because I've used Hitmontop before, but I've never used it effectively. So let's hope I can use it effectively, and let's hope I can use it well. Because, you know, it's a decent spinner. Up next, though, I needed speed. If you look at all my picks, my fastest Pokemon is Entei. So, little to know, I need speed. So I just decided to get one of the fastest Pokemon I could see that was lower tier, and that was Swellow. Now, Swellow was a tier 3, but in my mind it is worth the tier 3, especially for this draft, because Scrappy Boom Burst with choice specs destroys lives. Also, you know, gets Heat Wave and Air Slash, but Scrappy Boom Burst, if there's no Steel types or Rock types there, is taking a life. Like, or if there's a Chansey. But there's also the Guts Flame Orb set I could run with Facade. Like, I just needed this massive amount of speed right here. And I love Swellow. It's definitely one of my favorite birds from any of the games, really. I just can't wait. I can't wait to use it. I can't wait to use it at all. Because it just looks cool, too. It's one of my favorite design birds. But, yeah, Swellow, definitely worth the round I got it, too. I got it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, round 7. Round 7. That's a pretty good round. So I knew if I didn't get my next pick right here, right now, I probably wouldn't get it, because other people just know how good it is, and especially as a tier 5. And that Pokemon I have used so much, and I love it. It's like one of the greatest Pokemon I've ever used, and I've used it so well in every single league I've had it in. And that Pokemon is Kecleon, and I just love Kecleon so much because it has so much versatility, and nobody ever expects it, and I just love it. Nobody can ever expect what it can do. It gets all the elemental punches. It gets Rock Slide. It gets Brick Break. It gets Knock Off. It gets Drain Punch. It gets Shadow Sneak. It gets Sucker Punch. It gets Grass Knot. It gets Iron Tail. It gets Fight. Like, it gets so much coverage. It gets so much coverage. Like, I'll just keep going through. It gets Aqua Tail. It gets Body Slam. It gets Counter. I don't know. I don't really think I'll be using Counter. It gets Dig if I wanted to run Power Herb Dig. It gets Focus Punch if I wanted to do Sub Punch. It gets so much coverage. It gets all the hidden powers, of course, but you know that's not fun. It gets like I said, all the elemental punches, Iron Tail, Knock Off, Last Resort if I want to do Fake Out, Last Resort. It gets Magic Coat if I wanted to bounce back things. Like, it gets so much coverage. Nobody ever expects it. It gets Rock Slide and Rock Tomb. Like, nobody ever expects this much coverage coming from this little chameleon. And I just love it. Can't wait to use it again. And then, arguably, I got the best Tier 5 and Tier 5s, other than Kecleon. And that Pokemon is Electivire. Now, this is also one of my Z users, but it can only be a physical Z move. So, like, Z Wild Charge, Z Earthquake. I can't use, like, Z Electric Terrain if it gets it. It does, huh. Yeah, I can't use that, though. Like, that would have actually been good, but no. I decided to give all the other status things to Kyurem. But going back to Electivire, decent physical attack, can also be special with Volt Switch. Definitely need Volt Switch for momentum. But Wild Charge, Earthquake, Ice Punch, I believe it gets Fire Punch, it gets Cross Chop, it gets Brick Break, it gets Dual Chop if I needed a Dragon type move, but and just, you know, a lot of physical coverage again. It gets Iron Tail if I wanted to do that. Ooh, I could run an Ion Deluge set. So that way, if a normal type comes in against me, I can make it hit me with an electric type move and boost my speed. That seems like a lot of fun, actually. Gets Quick Attack for priority. There's just like a lot of cool things this thing can do. I didn't know it got Quick Attack though, so that might actually come in handy at some point. So this was round 9 of the draft, and then there's 2 picks left for me. I had enough points to get a Tier 2, and I had to get a Tier 3. So I got my Tier 2 first, because I knew nobody would snipe the Tier 3 I was going to get. And I decided to pick up Gliscor. Now, another physical wall, and it is an Ice-type weakness, but I do have a lot of Pokemon to patch up an Ice-type weakness. I have Scizor, I have Slowbro, and Entei to take Ice-type moves. They can do pretty well doing that, especially Scizor. But 125 defense, 95 attack, 95 speed. I could run a Swords Dance set. I can run the traditional bulky Toxic Orb Poison Heal. I can run a sub Hyper Cutter set. Like, I can do a lot with this. It does get Defog if I want to run Defog. Like Swords Dance Stallbreaker, Swords Dance EQ Roost Facade with the Toxic Orb. That can do a lot of damage. I can run the Fling Acrobatics set. There's so much I can do. And I can't wait to use this either. I love Gliscor. I'm still coming up with nicknames, so if you have any nickname suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. And keep it clean. I mean it, keep it clean. But after Gliscor, my last round pick, I needed a grass type. You notice the whole draft, I didn't get a grass type. And the grass type I decided to get was Tier 3, base 95 speed, I believe. Decent special attack, really good special defense. Never used it before, really, but I just can't wait to use Roserade. 90 speed. So, I've never used it, like I said, so I don't really know what it does. But I know it's pretty specially bulky. You can make it pretty specially bulky. And that, you know, Leaf Storm from it does a lot. Sludge Bomb does a lot. It has a base 125 special attack, so a Life Orb set can do really well. Especially like when you slap a Choice Scarf on this thing, it's outspeeding so much, you just kill things off. But like I said, a lot of coverage. Gets Dazzling Gleam for like Hydreigon and stuff like that. And I've never used it. I don't know what to expect from it, but I've seen how it's used, and it's done really good. And that, my friends, is the Minnesota Lycanrocs draft for the NPCC Minor League. The top 2 people from this league go on to the majors, and if I do that, I will be stoked, because there's so many cool people in the Major League, and I just can't wait to see how everything goes. But if you guys enjoyed this draft analysis, be sure to smash that like button to support your Minnesota Lycan Rocks, because, you know, we're doing pretty good in leagues, actually, except for the IBA, but that's just kind of meh for me. But the USL, I'm entering playoffs soon. You'll see the match for that go up, or you might have already seen it go up for Week 9. I'm late on that. The IBA match is going up late, too, unfortunately, because I was in Nebraska. But I'm in playoffs for USL. I fight Ultra Player Week 1, and we all know how playoffs went against Ultra Player for me last time. But thank you all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and be sure to hit that bell if you want to be notified. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in Week 1, where we face off against top place Pokemon and his Rhode Island Rotoms. Take care.